Welcome to Onivia, League of Legends highlights. These are the best highlights from today's LEC matchup.
Control over mid, and now it becomes very difficult for Closer to really try and push this, but Vladdy has cleared out mid wave, so they're going to come in.
Zenith Blade starts it off. That Destiny we talked about, using some of the lead from top, brings it in. Shayo flashes away, and BDS caught out this time around. Casey with a great response. Kana chasing him down, and Shayo has nothing to get out of. Zenith Blade with a flash on top. First blood for Vladdy. Casey's response there, very intelligent.
Super nice.
Kana there. And Gold's actually not that far up. Aragon, you were just talking about the 10-minute mark and what happens, usually in isolation for the matchup. Kana sacrificed himself a little bit, and as Arrow comes through, it makes me pause. Vladdy going to dodge this away, and there's nothing to be seen up in the top side as the wave is too far stretched.
Just down bot side.
Yeah, this is bizarre. I assumed that they were just going to try and play off of that rotation advantage and then look for the pick with Ice's ult, but now you are in quite a bit of danger. Multiple members of KC here. Destiny can pop things off at any point in time.
Labrov is angling for the engage. All he needs is one dredge line, but again, numbers aren't here until Adam, he just walked up. He must have, as he TP'd out, and now coming through, the arrow follows through as well, but the Wild Growth doesn't have any plants under it. This is scuffed. KC getting poked down regardless, so they're culling enough, but with Adam just walking in and then playing it slow, it looked bad at the start, but all KC need to do is find a turn. There's a dredge line against the wall. Vladdy will not be caught out, but Grub's going to be taken over. The early game's still strong enough. Kana has now ghosted a strange turn of play that BDS seemed to have gotten away with.
It was a little bit indecisive. We were question marking it a little bit as Adam TP'd down bot side, but he decides, you know what, we actually want to contest this. We want to secure. It's close. You can see Kana, he actually reset that to complete his Kraken, but then they bring up Nuke into the top side, so then Kana cannot flex onto that tower. Planting, a beautiful attempt from Ice, not going to quite land.
Destiny's going to be used. I mean, Kana's here, spots them all out, and yeah, just with the time as well, a short mistake in front of Herald.
And this is what we talked about with Labrov. It's kind of been a new symptom coming into playoffs, is at times he's just wandering through where he has no right to be. There was no presence mid. They'd already seen Kana leave from top side, and it just ends up getting caught then in the river, giving KC this Rift Shroud. Nuke does need to be careful as well, though. Kana has no flash, which means he should be able to get away.
Nuke has the range, gold card under turret, the poke doesn't connect, but still Nuke has just shown where they are, is trying to come through. That's a two-man solar flare. BDS, it turned from a soft contest into a hard one. They've got an ulti from Adam though, and Sherry gets out, but it's burnt over the wall. Instead, now Nuke comes in and Ice starts free firing. It's turned around so quickly that double 80 carries blowing them apart, and BDS are the kings of misfortune this game.
How the hell did BDS?
Every time KC are running from a fight, or like even if it seems like they have numbers, things like the Ashe dueling that comes in early as well. The early power of this Lucian is adding a lot of value versus a Corki as well. And let's not forget, the Maokai is 2 levels down in most cases, so his base health is also low. He's actually quite squishy.
Huge power troughs before the Triforce completion. I completely agree with you, Asterix. So just, I guess, in the raw DPS, the raw strength factor of these champions until now, regardless, so they have the Rift Herald, so maybe they can utilize that to break mid.
Yeah, Vladdy got it.
Yep, so we'll have to see if they're able to fight with that. The only problem is, I mean, Dragon just secured for BDS, mid tower secured for BDS. It feels like they don't have a huge amount of points of pressure, because you can even see Labrov now coming down to help out Nuke, so he doesn't get played. You have to go to the tower though, Labrov.
He arcane shifts away, or rather that's Lucian in. Closer under turret, gets cullinged. It's a 1-for-1 trade, it might even be more. Adam comes through, the arrow did fly through. It was a shutdown over to Vladdy, but slowed down, and now he's in a lot of trouble himself. Adam has enough to keep him there for years. He gets flipped around, and man, as easy as smashing a coconut. Adam's 3-0.
TPing down, this is exactly what we wanted to see from Adam. He's had shaky performances recently.
It felt like they didn't really know how they wanted to approach things. We weren't getting those smart rotations with Ice and Labrov around the map, buying space for Adam. Nuke having that isolated 1v1 where he could try and shine. It felt very disjointed. They didn't know how they wanted to approach. It actually felt like they were regressing back to last year, prioritizing Dragons, but might need to hold off on this. KC force them off top tower.
Show gets poked down. This one-trick comp, it felt like, in a bit of playoffs and even in previous splits. Definitely adapted to that, since double 80 carry comps have early Barons these days with the pick out on the side.
Look top side, the
I mean, I am indeed.
ulting.
Destiny's going to be there. Ghost is on top of Nuke. I mean, he's got nothing to get out of this, and Targamas with a solar flare locks him in place. Nuke is just trying to trade. There's a pick. Arrow doesn't connect either. No follow-up.
And this is the problem that BDS have in the side lane. I was going to get to it in the mid game. They're against Global with the TF, so what TF on Kana can do is he can just sit
101 tells me that 180 to 92 CS is a big lead. Double the CS lead in jungle, and so Shayo's going to be strong as arrow flies through onto Targamas. I don't know if he's tanky enough. Adam runs forward, and him getting caught out, that's a big engage from KC. Nature's Grasp is there, but LeBron is willing to die for it. Closer runs in, but he will not be running out. Adam now searing with Avenge.
Kana's trying to push in mid to threaten the tier 1, so Ice going to push out these top waves and see if they can get some pressure around that, or some vision, I should say, around that Baron area.
Yep. Those deaths up top side for Targamas means they've lost full control of bot side, only that crab there for vision.
When have they had control of bot side? Let me ask you.
That's a good question.
Now, just a side note, while we are walking towards Baron and Casey like we're going to flip the game, Shao hasn't backed in a while, so maybe not as powerful as you think. It is that fast, but as Nuke gets side, he has TP, and Nature's Grass comes out at 5k. Casey are trying to get this game back in their swing as the steal is not there, but the jungler is now dead. Okay, worthwhile if they can get at least 3 members out. As flashes are burned, gold cards are thrown, and Nuke is everywhere in between. The culling comes out at a bad angle.
No titters.
Upset is running away. There's good damage again, but BDS can't land any as Targamas is between the wave. He's sacrificing his life so that 3 can get away with Baron. When you're so far behind, especially in that jungle role, this feels like it's a good trade.
The fact you just get Baron off the map is kind of helpful for KC, but 2 kills going across and the Dragon now up means that you're just going to have Giving Soul, but this was a very much a flip.
Yeah, stalling the game with that Maokai, stalling the rush rather with that Maokai ulti, they managed to secure and actually get out with 3 people. I'm surprised. I think BDS are too, with how fast that Nash was, but Vladdy.
Oh, he's caught out. He's come
cooked.
back. I mean, remember that Targamas died in it. Nuke almost getting outplayed. It's a good flash in the end, and Vladdy's showing the power of Corky, but that's another Baron down. 2 left remaining.
Dashing away from the rockets and flashing the Q initially as the ultimate.
I was there. You know, Nuke, good dodge. BDS at least, you know, they're back and they're like, hey, we just got to pick on top. That also enables the Dragon. Soul's up. But gents, I'm going to throw something.
Realistically, despite 1 or 2 missteps, BDS have looked significantly more consistent than we've seen over the course of the playoffs. So, wait, as I say that.
Ice Destiny there. Arrow comes in as well. Kana has no way to stop that.
God.
Ice is just turning. He flashes into him and the entire team. Upset hits him, but now Targamas with the CC doesn't have block damage. Closer comes in though, and now it's turning about in a big way. Ice finally dies as Nuke spaces out with the culling. Shao wasn't there. They're big fed jungler, and BDS are on the run.
I shouldn't have said anything.
I mean,
well, can't wait for Elder.
Ice flashes forward for a potential kill, but there's nothing on the map anyway. So you flash forward and you won't now flash for the next Elder. It's just a questionable choice, even if you do get something there. Labrov.
Oh, two-shot barrage. Good bit of damage, but Aftershock probably saves his life. He has Warmogs, but he won't be sticking around anyway as KC. Big couple of picks punishing BDS, and a mistake that can haunt them.
Shao's still on the top side as well, so it means that he's not going to be here to try and defend it. So it's a case of how far do KC want to try and push it. You know, at least get Kana pushing it mid. Looks like Shao going to move over to try and defend the mid tower.
And Dak Daddy, they've got objective bounties on there as well. And so gold is now caught up. So if we had that argument of how far BDS were, that's out the window.
And these towers are going to melt like popsicles. You cannot stick around to be in a position to hold on to this. KC, they just got
still a decent chunk of 30-40 seconds right now for Closer, who's got some stats under him thanks to the Warmogs, but he's still quite squishy. That tool is down, keep note.
There's a huge wave in bot side, so Kana's got down. Labrov double! We got him!
He's dead. He just underestimated Upset's damage. It's funny that Labrov in this scenario is actually Upset.
Any other Dragon, and they'd be sitting pretty right now, but the weakness of the Chemtech shot is not carrying them over. They're just getting one shot. Labrov getting picked again in the enemy jungle.
But it's also the fact that Kana's over mid-wave now, so you can lean in towards that top side with both Closer and Adam playing for flanks.
Yeah, watch Ice's arrows as well. I think they're going to be pivotal. It's pretty hard to catch an arrow if you're side of Casey. You don't exactly have a Cassante W to tank it. It's going to have to be Leona.
Keep your eyes on Kana as well, trying to get that flank on towards
Closer's ult again. Arrow comes out. They're stopping the engage. Kana, Dagda pointed out. He starts it on Labrov, but in the backside, Adam is controlling the fight. Cassante is fair. Yes, he is, of course. Double kill goes over to Nuke, but in the meanwhile, the damage from this Lucian is also scaling nicely.
Both solo laners resetting, though, to try and teleport back in. Nuke going to cancel his, so they can have those health bars now to go towards the bar. 35 seconds until Elder as well. You can double up here as BDS and basically get the literally exodia of buffs to finish out this game.
You can tell they can't contest this. They don't think they can either. They're just going to settle for some bot side control on this Elder, like you're saying, Dagda, and take some camps away. This should just be all she wrote with this Baron.
Every single fight we watch is just like watching a plushie go into the middle of it. This Maokai can't withstand anything.
Watch on the flank.
Destiny's here. All right, let's watch it out. As again, he's waiting for the gold card. He's already burnt it, though. It's down. Kana didn't get to make that flank, but a True Shot Barrage does the damage as Ice sends the arrow into the backline. It lands on Upset. He cleanses away at 9.5k. BDS are still hovering. With Lebrov having Warmogs, he needs to get out of combat and reset.
They can potentially flash onto Upset. He has no cleanse.
Oh, Cullen, Kana's out. Flash comes through, 8.5k. It's still danger zone here as KC try to find themselves the brilliant pick, but Nuke's on the back end making sure they can't. Flash is burnt there. It's not a spectator bug. He gets gold card and Bloody takes him out while on the backside. Adam is doing it again.
They do it!
Stills Elder, but I don't think it's enough. Depth charge comes through and Ice is doing enough damage. Their damage sources are out of there as Sheo gets himself over the wall and KC only survived by 2.
But if they can at least keep the Elder off of BDS, maybe they have a chance to stall, because it's only a minute and a half left on this Red Bull Baron power play. KC, they're running them around the map.
He's got flash!
No!
Bloody! Ice gets him in the end, and Kana, I mean, I'm not even sure he's safe. There's no Destiny for ages. Sheo's got a blast going.
The snipe!
Arrow. Oh my God! Man, I love this track in the 80s, and again now I'm getting Ice, baby.
But how much do BDS want to try and take here? You've still got 10 seconds too far forward, so you kill off Nuke, and then on the top side, KC gets this Baron.
Yeah, it looks like Adam's going to win this fight as well, but he doesn't manage to do it, and it looks like KC can get out, but they absolutely hunt the rest of KC down across the map.
And now back to live. BDS take that mid inhibitor. This is at least the last few dregs of this Baron buff to try and get at least these outer inhibitor turrets down. Can they? Yeah, they should be able to just tick over with this one with 20 seconds left.
You're questioning it because, again, you know, KC got some range here. Dagger, I know we talked about it in the draft, but BDS, their sieging power with Sheo is just so powerful, and I like the word power as well. Inhibitor's going to be dropping. At least his top one feels like it's up next as BDS, their bot wave. It's not slow pushing in, but there's so much pressure on the map that, again, that's just only the next dice.
No flashes on Ice or Nuke. Can target his lander. A potential engage.
And they just grab
and flash forward if he wants to.
They're down. Closers, no ult. Targamas, no ult. BDS, take that inhibitor, and they'll be basically impossible for KC to really try and commit to, especially because BDS didn't reset. They just immediately took it, and you can see there, KC, they just have to look on as this is taken, but that feels like the final nail in the coffin with that Baron push going to be coming through.
With that Baron push down bot side, you play for mid and bot waves, empower those waves and maintain control with the Elder spawning as well. We might see a run back of the Nash and the Elder buff for the side of BDS. That lone inhib's probably going to fall, and we're going to see a lot of super minions pouring into their base.
Yeah, it's crested 40 minutes, which means that in playoffs we're allowed to finish our games now, so we have to be able to finish this one out soon, but it definitely has been reserved from BDS, which is not bad, like especially when you have had a few fumbles, just taking things slow and dotting your eyes.
Windows already shown. I am at least glad as Destiny comes through, and I pause for a second to see what Kana can do. I mean, were they spotted? Dredgeline comes through. Kana's sitting in a bush. Adam is the one to face check whatever bush that may be. Arrow flies through. It's onto target. They know Kana's here. They run forward, but Adam has taken too much damage. He dies. That is a fumble again as Kana gets a gold card onto Nuke, who starts chasing him down.
Look at the move speed coming up from Kana. He ghosts and he has the plants. He can displace himself really, really easily.
It's a red card. Red card. Send him off the pitch. All right, KC are going to survive from the culling, but Nuke again almost caught with his trousers.
KC haven't been put into the sim bin just yet, though. They can continue to push in towards this Elder Dragon, and you can't really move in here as BDS. You're completely separated.
He's chunked Nuke, but he can recall TP back if he wants to. Doesn't look like he's going to. He's going to look for this flank. Can they secure this? It's going to be KC now.
It's at 4K, 3K, 1K. It is indeed. Nuke gets destroyed. Gents, what did I tell you? It might not be the first Elder, but KC always have the Elder to sit on as Sheo is in the pit and he's dead. Arrow flies through and BDS, we are returning to some earlier stories.
2 minutes on this Elder Dragon. KC going to move in towards mid. Kana is clearing out the waves on top side and bot side. So they're going to look to just try and end the game right now. You don't have two of your big damage dealers. It's going to be a 3v4.
So much wave clear. Yeah, you just have Cassante and a Nautilus. They're useless. I think maybe they can look for an end here. They have the Elder Drake.
I'm looking at Ice Chance. I'm looking at full build 80 carry and what he can do in DPS. 4 members stand strong. KC with an Elder buff. A throw, but a catch of KC's godly hands.
The Baron buff is helping out BDS massively, though. They can slowly clear out these waves. And KC can't get them to the towers.
It's gone. Soul Flare's there onto LeBron. There's the engage. Targamas jumps on in, but they need to get rid of Ice. The Elder might be able to do it, but against the Nexus turrets, a throw given over, and just like that, GG!
These were the best highlights from today's LEC matchup. Click that subscribe button faster than Ramus can say,
Okay.
See you on the next one.